Uber can be really convenient sometimes because, sometimes if you're partying too hard on the weekend and you just need to get home.
I've been driving with Uber for 2 years. They're treating the drivers horrible, and we have no protections whatsoever. There's just absolutely no accountability on Uber's part. I don't feel like I'm any different than a plantation worker right now. I have no rights. Uber can shut me down in a blink of an eye. I own a Mercedes. One time I had 4 of them with Uber, and so now I'm down to 1. My working's gotta be at least 60 to 80 hours a week, 7 days a week. If you gross $2,000 a driver, after putting all these hours, you're lucky if you can only gross approximately $250 to $300. That's your take, that's it. There's no other way around it.
My name is Shannon Liss-Riordan. I'm representing Uber drivers who are suing Uber for misclassifying them as independent contractors. The main thing that we're trying to recover for the drivers is that they've had to pay for all of their expenses to do the work. So by calling them independent contractors, Uber has been able to shift to the drivers the expenses behind running a business. The cost of having a car, maintaining a car, paying for fuel, paying for insurance, paying for everything that goes into maintaining a vehicle.
It's almost like going fishing. That's it. There's like, for example, last Sunday, I started approximately, I would say 9 or so. I went home 6 o'clock, and there was not even one fare for the entire day. So not only you put in all the hours, you burn gas, you took a substantial amount of your daily expenses hit on top of that. This vehicle that I have, it lost $20-something thousand in value, not even a year from the mileage. Who am I supposed to go give this vehicle back to if I want to get out of this business? Where do we go, you know what I mean? For the last month and a half, a month and a half ago I had a surgery. I had a tumor removed from my nose. And so I fell behind at least a couple of $1,000 just in my expenses. And this is after I had to go back to work early because I was supposed to be off work for like a month. But you just keep enduring all these expenses. And then I had to put brand new tires and brakes, and these Mercedes, they cost a substantial amount of money to do the brakes and the tires. And basically now I'm looking up at this $9,000 to $10,000 that I have to come up with at the end of the month just to break even.
He usually gets up around 6 or 6:30, and he leaves the house around 7, the same time I do for school. He comes back maybe 9 or 10 usually, most days. Sometimes he might come maybe an hour or two early, but that's usually it. It's like hard for me to see him like working so hard.
So by classifying Uber drivers as independent contractors, Uber has been able to avoid all of these obligations of an employer, and all of the drivers are missing out on all the benefits that have been put in place over the course of decades to protect employees.
And I don't know how Uber can enforce a lot of this stuff because remember, at the end of the day, Uber is not an employer. Uber is just an app. Mm-hmm. So, even though they give people this whole thing that, they're here and they provide everything for them, but in actuality, there's nothing that they're doing.
As an entrepreneurship professor, I'm always curious about what the drivers are thinking about Uber and this business model, and I have lots of discussions with them, and also analyze Uber case with my students in class. I don't think there is a moral or economic case for classifying Uber drivers as employees. Even if some lawyers can make the legal case about it, I think that we as a society should strongly oppose it, because this is what makes the United States strong, the freedom of contracting with minimal government interference.
I am a grad student at Northeastern. It's my first semester. So Uber was relatively new to me. Came up here in June. Started driving in July. Personally, I love it because I take night classes. I'm in school Mondays and Tuesdays, 5:30 to 8:40, but I can also drive whenever I want. It's not like I have to be at a certain place from 9 to 5 and it's stressing me out. Whenever I want, I can turn on the app. Currently, you see this yellow portion? I actually just got requested a ride. I'm not going to get it, but this is just really cool to see when passengers request a ride. It says it's 4 minutes away at a certain place, 38 Puritan Road, Somerville. It's really interactive, really user-friendly. They have updates every week. You can't go wrong using this, man.
To be honest with you, Uber is, if not the best, definitely top 3 jobs I've ever had. And I've worked pretty much everywhere in the city. But it's like you get to make your own schedule, you know, work your own hours. You don't have nobody nagging over you, you know, over your shoulder, asking you, you know, what's getting done, if this is done, if this is not done.
If we go back to the issue, more legal issue of contractors versus employees, let's look at Uber drivers. First, they are free to join Uber and leave Uber as they want to. The only thing that Uber gives them is fixed rates and fixed terms on which they are free to join Uber or not. For me, this is pure contractors. And when I see that some of the drivers are organizing to force Uber to classify them as employees, I don't think it is fair to the company.
They listen to you and they take everything into consideration. It's hard to understand why people don't like Uber.
You know, I really feel strongly about Uber, and it goes a long way to show you that you can get anywhere in the city for a decent price. Dealing with somebody that loves their job and is very friendly, you just gotta take what you get. I mean, 80-20 is good, 75-25 is good. The more you drive, the more you get. You shouldn't be complaining because they could easily take 50-50, but just be appreciative.
Now, Uber is trying to argue that it's not really a car service, it's a technology company. But the court, the judge in our case, has already rejected that argument and said that as a matter of law, Uber is not a technology company. It is a transportation service. So we don't think that argument is going to carry the day. I think a lot of drivers are really unhappy with Uber because of how little money they're making, for whatever reason, either because Uber's taking a big cut or because Uber unilaterally decides to cut its rates. And again, it's Uber that makes the decision about what the rates are and when it's going to cut the rates. And it's in Uber's interest to try to get as big a market share as it possibly can to keep its rates as low as possible. That helps the company. That doesn't help the drivers who are really struggling to make ends meet.
Partnership works really good for Uber because they still make that 25% without investing a dime. Well, we're on our end, we're not protected. You know, Uber doesn't give a crap if you make $1,000 and you don't pay enough to make your expenses from that. But they're still gonna get their money though. So, you know, I mean, their pot just keep getting bigger and bigger.